Are they done? Oh,
Good morning and welcome to XSell Live. I'm your host, Korah Hart, coming to you from the sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Drop in the comments where you're joining us from or if you have any questions, and we'll try to get those answered. Today, I have a special guest, Curtis Shewell. Curtis is a loving husband and father, as well as an extremely accomplished vice president of the Mark Z team. He brings exceptional training, coaching, and motivation to his team, driving them to be the best. Today, Curtis is going to help us understand what we can do to take our careers to the next level and achieve the extreme growth that he helps drive with his team. Good morning, Curtis, and welcome.
Korah, how are you? I'm very excited to be here.
Good.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
excited to have you today. I think it's great, and I know you have a lot of valuable information. So,
right? Yeah, you brought the bright colors. I brought the bright lake. So I thought, all right, today I was going to do this from instead of my office, which is kind of boring. That an office is an office is an office. I thought I'd do it from home today. Kind of share that when you're doing the right things in real estate and you start producing the way you want to produce, and your production levels get to the right place, you start understanding how to run your business. When you start understanding how to run a business, then you become the employer instead of the employee. And once you get to that level, now you really start building your business. All of us get into it for that purpose. I want freedom. I want my time. I want to be able to do whatever I want when I want. I want to be my own boss. I don't want anybody telling me what to do. All those things come into play. And that's the reasons that people get into real estate. At the end of the day, what happens is most people aren't good business people. They're good salespeople, they're friendly people, they're good customer service people, but they're not typically really good business people. So you have to become a better business person here. And when you're collaborating with the best of the best, they're going to teach you that piece. And that's really what we offer. And that's what makes the difference. So the agents on my team, I helped empower them so that way they can have everything that they want. This was what my wife wanted for so many years. She's like, I want to live on the lake, I want to live on the lake, I want to live on the lake. So for me, you know what my goal was? I got to get my wife on that lake. Right. And that was the really cool part. So we had to build to that, though. It doesn't happen overnight. And most agents really make a mistake because they think it's supposed to flip a switch and it just magically happens. It doesn't. It takes time, effort, and very, very extreme focus. And we'll talk about a lot of that today. And that's how we can help you guys sell your next home.
I love that. And I think the focus is a really big part of this career, and always stepping up and taking it that extra step and going the extra mile. How do you get there, though? What is the first step to getting those clients and getting the motivation to keep going after it when you're having a hard time or hitting that wall?
Yeah. I think it really breaks down to a couple things, a couple core things. You have to understand, what is your real estate business built upon? What are the 5 principles of real estate? Support, leads, training, which ultimately evolves to masterminding, and then having some ownership, and then sharing in the money that's coming in because you're generating it. So if you understand the 5 principles, then it becomes really simple of, okay, where do I start, right? What is day one, step one? What do I do? And when you start off with all brokerages, here's the problem with a franchised style brokerage. Not that they're bad people, they're great people. They're wonderful people, tons of friends. Most of the agents that work with me today all came from there, right? We all came from somewhere. I was there too, right? So don't forget it, and remember that, we all came from somewhere too. We started at step 1, just like you. We started, climbing those steps and started building. That's what we do. So the very first thing you have to understand is, what are people telling you? And I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but sometimes I got to ruffle some feathers to get you guys to really understand. When you go to a brokerage, the only thing that they can offer you is, hey, great news, come hang out. I'll give you all the support on the planet. If you need me, call me and I'll answer my phone. Well, your broker's taking a pretty good chunk of money from you if you do sell something. So every time I sell something, and I know my broker's taking 20, 30, 40, 50% of my money, well, yeah, you better answer the phone if I call you. I mean, I'm calling you because I need some help, right? This is the part that they offer you, support. Remember I said the five pillars of your business is support, leads, training, owning, and then sharing the money. Well, step 1 is the support piece. Well, everybody pitches. I'll help you. I'll support you. You call, I'll answer your phone. I'm going to be amazing. You're going to love me. I love you. I'll be your broker, and we can all be in love. Well, my broker can love me until my heart's beating out of my chest. But at the end of the day, they ain't making you any money, right? And what are they going to tell you? Step 1, I'll support you. Well, how about give me some leads? Well, we don't do that. And that's the biggest fallacy in this entire business. Well, how do you get leads? Well, you got to lead generate. Okay, well, how does that work? Well, here's the truth. Your broker's been in the game for a while to become a broker, typically. Secondly, if they did open a business, they're probably going to be becoming a better business person, or they are a good business person. And then thirdly, they have residuals coming in of as far as their leads, right? They've got their referral business down. So they get referrals coming in. So the first thing everybody tells you is, hey, great news. You're an agent. So proud of you. Yay, yay, way to go. And then listen, now tell everybody you know that you're brand new in real estate and you got your license. Go tell everybody that. So when you do that, two things happen. One, you let everybody know you're in real estate, and you need to do that. Don't be James Bond, right? We're not 007. We're not an undercover agent. No, we're going to be an agent that the world needs to know we are. Use your social media. It blasts it out quickly. Understand how to use it. I'm old dog. I was taught a new trick. People like Korah help me and teach me and show me how to do these things. You can get your name out. You can get the word out. So your people are going to know where you're at. You know why? You got to go and you got to meet them where they are. They're on the internet. So are your clients. So are your clients. Your clients are there. So when we understand this, your brokers tell you traditionally and typically what they say is tell and call everybody you know. Get a list of 100 people that you know and let them all know you're in real estate. Well, again, remember I said there's two things you're teaching them. One, you're teaching your clients, potential clients. One, that I'm in real estate. So that's a good thing. Aunt Eloise is also in real estate, and so's your cousin Tom, and then your friend Mary's husband's cousin's neighbor. Well, they're in real estate too. Everybody on the planet knows somewhere between 3 and 6 licensed real estate agents. Now that sounds insane. Well, I'm in the state of Michigan. Michigan has 21,564 licensed real estate agents, right? That's what we have here. So everybody knows somebody who's a real estate agent. So that doesn't impress them that we say, I have a license and I'm in real estate. What it tells them is I'm brand new and I don't know what I'm doing yet. But hey, why don't you trust me and let me help you sell the largest investment asset you have in your entire life? Your retirement might hinge on your house, right? All the money that's in it. That's your largest investment of your life. And I'm brand new and I have no idea what I'm doing. So hey, trust me to help you. Like, this is why they don't. The second reason that these people don't, and people get very offended by that. Well, my friend is selling their house and they didn't use me. My aunt, my cousin, my brother, my sister, they're not using me and you're offended. Well, first, stop being offended. You don't even know what you're doing yet. And I mean that respectfully. You're going to learn. But the key is getting leads outside of the people that you know. It's a lot easier to talk to a stranger because they don't know what you do or don't know. You're an expert till you open your mouth, say something stupid, and prove to them that you're not. So don't do that, right? So that's called dialogue. What we're going to teach you is how to do this at the highest levels and become a successful agent immediately. How'd you like to make 30,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, 200,000? You pick the number and I'll show you exactly how to do it. That's what Korah does, right? She puts these plans in place and she's part of a bigger team. And there's these people you're gonna hear names, and Chuck Fazio and Angela. They're incredible people, right? Well, they do it at the highest levels. In the state of Michigan, yeah, I run the biggest team in the state, number 22 in the country. We're not bad. But what we do is we do it methodically, we do it systematically, and we're very hyper-focused on how to do this. You got to lead generate. That's number one. The support things, sorry, it's garbage. The support is help me get leads. That's the support I'm looking for. The second thing I need to learn is, first, I need to be trained on how to get leads. Secondly, I need to get the lead to say yes to me. The third thing is I need to be trained again on what do I do now that they said yes, Korah? Holy smokes, what do I do with them now? And then the fourth part in the steps, guys, in the process, that's where support comes in. Okay, hey, help me understand the mortgage piece, the title piece, and how do I, the transaction piece. No problem. That's easy. Filling out a contract, I promise you, if you literally took a real estate contract and you just sat down with somebody to fill it out going, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. If you literally read it line by line by line by line, it's pretty much fill in the blank. There may be a couple terms in there that you're not sure what they mean. Occupancy, what does that mean? Like, don't they occupy the home, right? You get confused with that. No big deal. So there's about 3 or 4 things that we have to teach you. Pretty easy to do when you're filling it out. It's a pain to spend hours and days, and I know I'm going to offend some people, but that is the biggest waste of time I've ever seen brokerages do to agents. They put you in, go tell everybody you're an agent. Okay, sit back and wait for them to call you. Horrible advice. Secondly, okay, let's spend days and weeks on filling out contract. We'll make you such a great person at filling out contracts. Do you know when you need to fill out a contract, Korah? When you sell a house. Right?
I have a contract to fill out.
Yeah, when you have a client, right? I mean, this is
have a ready, willing, and able client, right?
Yeah. So until you've got a client, guys, I don't need to know how to fill out paperwork, right? What I need to do is I need to learn how to lead generate and get more leads. Leads are people, people are clients, clients are people that buy and sell homes with you. So that's step one. Step two is when we're teaching you how to, you need a great training program. Now, doesn't mean it has to cost $1 million. It doesn't mean it has to cost you anything. Korah, let me ask you, throw this your way, right? Because you do the same thing we do and Chuck and Ann, right? We pour our hearts and souls into helping agents become successful. Well, how do they do that? Well, first thing you need is you need some clients. We teach you how to get clients to come back and reach out to you. It's a lot easier if you're attracting clients versus chasing clients. Nobody likes the cold call. It's a pain, right? It's tough. That's the hardest place, but you got to start talking to people. Well, guess what? We set up different functions. You guys have them. We have them. We all work together collaboratively. And this is why I'm really honored to be on the show with you, Korah. So thank you again for the invite. XSell selling in the training process that goes into this thing that Chuck and Ann set up is incredible because we're able to help you from day one, step one. Go ahead and start working with some clients. Go ahead and put a deal together. Let's help some people buy. Let's help some people sell. The biggest thing that we make a mistake at is you think you're supposed to be this great salesperson. You don't have to be a great salesperson. You have to be a great person. Okay. So you don't have to be a salesperson because we're not selling anything. And now this is going to sound weird. Stop selling. We don't sell anything. We help people buy and we help people sell. That's what we do, right? That's all we do. So stop selling. Stop selling. You want some hype? You want some excitement? I wake up happy as hell every single day, and I'll tell you a lot of reasons why. But guys, I role play in the morning when I'm taking my shower. Why? Because every day I got to take a shower, else, well, I'm not going to go out in public, right? So I got to shower. I ain't that pretty, so I better shower up, clean up, and make myself look as good as I can. So you get in that shower and you role play these things out. Role play your conversations that you know you're going to have with your clients. Role play them out. Then guess what we do? First thing in the morning, get your butts out of bed, get your day going, get your juices flowing. And then what we do is we do a role play call where we literally do a coaching training call every single morning to get our people mindset right and to practice what you're going to say to these clients today that you're talking to. We help you through deals. We help you through transactions. We help you through whatever scenario you're at. I can't get these people to say yes. I can't get a FISBO to let me in the house. All he wants to do is bring a buyer, bring a buyer. I don't know how to handle that. Oh my God. We're extremely well scripted. We know all of our objection handlers, but we know the difference between an objection and a condition. Most agents get caught up in that. They're not sure what that is. And they try to answer everything, Korah, and it gets crazy. So step one, understand the system and process. 5 pieces: support, training, there's support, leads, training, and then you get into that you have your business and then the money.
And you brought up a great thing. You're being prepared by knowing your scripts, knowing your objectives and what they're going to throw at you so that you know how to overcome that, but you can't fix everything. And sometimes you just have to agree with them and nod and smile and build that relationship so that you can overcome things faster.
Yeah, I think so. I think
your attitude says a lot about where you're going to go in the business.
Yeah, I think what happens too when you're new. So for newer agents that are really watching this or listening to this, take some of this to heart. And what Korah's really trying to tell you in the nicest kind of possible way is slow down. What do you mean, Kurt? You said hurry up. No, I want you to hurry up. Speed to lead is important. However, when you're talking to your clients, slow down. Here's the cool part. The only thing you're really afraid of when you're new is that they're going to ask you something that you don't know and you look stupid, right? That's the only thing that you're really, really afraid of. You're not afraid of making the money. You're not afraid of them actually buying a house or selling a house. And you're not afraid of listing a house. You're not afraid of helping them buy one. I mean, that part's easy. The easiest part of this entire business is showing a house. And most agents don't know how to properly show a house. It's crazy. You show it to them. I'm going to give you this really quick and easy. If you're really watching this, if you're really student to the game, write this down. It's pretty simple stuff, but it's spot on for what you're trying to do, especially when you don't know what you're doing yet. We sell houses from the outside in, right? Outside in. So write it down. Sell from the outside in. What that means is the first thing you sell them on is the community. I got to make sure that they want to live in this community. The second thing that you're going to sell them on is, so it's community. Let me give you the 4. It's community, neighborhood, street, house. So you got to make sure they want to live in the community. Next is neighborhood. So once you've found the community they want to live in, basically the city, the school district, close to their job, close to their parents, close to who's going to help them with their kids, find out what matters to them, right? Find out their motivation. Number one thing you need to know is your motivation. Once you have that, everything else falls in place. So understand the motivation, and then sell from the outside in. Find the community for them. Find the neighborhood, the specific neighborhood they're going to live in or they're interested in, and then find the street and the house. So it goes backwards, I know. Find the house that's in that neighborhood on that street, right? So you're going to do community, neighborhood, street, house, but you're never going to show them a house they cannot buy. So we're going to save you and them a lot of time and a lot of efforts. So when people say, hey, I want to show a lot of houses, what happens, you guys say yes to everything because I'm a new agent. Oh my God, I've got a client. slow down. Always remember it. Just hear Korah in your head going, slow down, slow down. Doesn't mean don't move fast. It means be precise, right? Slow down. When they ask you a question, you know the answer. Don't jump all over it because, oh my God, I know that one. I know that one. I know that when they want to answer that question. Slow down. Slow down. Repeat it back to them because the same exercise is going to be amazing for you when they ask you something that you don't know. And you're like, oh shit, what did they, am I allowed to say that? Sorry. Oh shoot. They just asked me this and oh my gosh, I don't know the answer. Great. Repeat it back to them in the form of a question. Always answer a question with a question. Let me give you an example. Korah, can you role play me for just a second? I have some
Absolutely. I love this.
Thank you. I want to help these agents, right? I want
Okay.
to make sure it's really simple. So, Korah, I'm going to ask you something and then start throwing stuff at me, and then let me show you if I didn't know the answer to those things. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna ask her back again, repeat what she said, and I'm going to do it in a question form. That's going to help me get her to ask me in another way. So now I know what the heck she's talking about. Fair enough. All right, so Korah, so it sounds like I'm really excited to help you, and like, oh my gosh, yes, and I'm really excited to help you and have you as a client and buy a house, and like, oh my gosh, and you want to live in Belleville. Oh my God, I love Belleville. Belleville's like amazing. Oh my God, it's so great, and they have great schools too.
They do. I'm not sure. They like the schools, but I'm not sure about the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me understand exactly. So when you say I'm not sure about the neighborhood, did you have one specifically in mind, or is it just in general, depending on the neighborhood you find?
It's depending on the neighborhood I find. I would like to have a cul-de-sac or something on my street.
Okay. So you wanted to have a cul-de-sac. So you kind of want one of those little circle drive things. Is that what you're looking for? The little
Yes.
circle street that ends in, so it's no through traffic. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I would like. So there's like one way in and out. They seem to be safer.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, safety. So safety is important to you?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. So now that I'm understanding, but I was very excited at the beginning of this, and now I'm slowing down so that I can ask you your questions so I can get you the right answers. So, Korah, if I hear you correctly, so what you're telling me is you need one of those neighborhoods that have some of the dead end type streets in them with the little circles at the end, those cul-de-sacs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that would be great. I just feel like
Okay.
they have a lot higher safety and people aren't as likely to come in and break in or anything if they know there's only one way out.
Sure. Yeah. So safety is really important too, then it sounds like. So safety for the kids, but then also safety for you, your property, your home. So it sounds like that's a very important thing. So we're really looking for a really good community that you feel very safe in. You prefer to not be on a street that runs through. So that way it does end. So that way it stops with this fast traffic, good for the kids to play in and such. Do you have any pets or anything as well?
I do, and I would like a neighborhood I can walk my dogs in because I like
Okay.
to go walking early in the morning or late at night, and I want to feel comfortable doing that.
Oh, great. Love that. So, okay, great. It sounds to me, if I'm hearing you correctly, then you really want a family friendly community that feels safe, that's got the streets, that maybe the traffic's not flying through. And that way we can make sure that we feel very comfortable. We can walk, we can take our dogs for walks, we can have our kids play. Kids can play with the other kids in the streets and out front and back, the whole 9 yards. So that's the type of community you're looking for?
That would work. Maybe a little bit more mature, maybe teenagers or along those lines. I just feel like little kids is a little past where I'm at in my age.
Nice. Good for you. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to find a really good community that seems to fit for you. And if it's near schools, that typically is where the draw is for more of those kids. So if you're closer to a high school, things like that, that's something that might be beneficial to you then.
Yeah, that would probably be best. And I think the resale value is better in those areas. So that if I
Sure.
decide to upgrade in a few years, I can do that.
Yeah. Since I've been in real estate my whole life, right? I've been living in a house. I've been housing my whole life. So since I've been housing my whole life, I can totally understand where you're coming from and making sure that you feel good about that. So that makes total sense to me. So what we want to do is just help you find that. So together we're going to do that. So this is really helping me put our game plan together that we really want to make strategic in helping you find houses. The last thing that you want me to do is to go ahead and show you a million houses and just confuse you. Is that right?
Yeah, I really want to narrow it down because my time is very limited and valuable.
Great.
So, possibly, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2.5 bathrooms is fine as well. And then I really want a single story floor plan.
Okay, so I think that one's important. It sounds like no matter what, just so I can make sure I heard you properly, what I heard you say was you want what's called a ranch style home. That means all the bedrooms are on one floor. There's no upstairs. Is that what I understand?
Yes, that would be great. If there's a basement for entertainment area or anything like that, that would be a bonus.
Okay, so we prefer a ranch style home, meaning all bedrooms are on one floor, there's no upstairs, and then we could potentially have a nice basement that's either finished or is it something that we could even finish our own way, make it the way you want. So either way could be beneficial to you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. I really love the way you're thinking. And I think that putting together your plan and us working together makes total sense because I can work with somebody like you because I'm sure I can help you find exactly what it is that you're telling me that you want based on what you've said so far. So if we are able to sit down together, map this out for us, and let's start looking at some homes, I'll put you on something called a search. And what that means is I'm going to put you specifically on something that we're going to custom design just for you. That way you maximize your opportunity to find the perfect home for you. Would that be all right?
That sounds wonderful.
Great, great. And it sounds like you and I are a really good fit to work together. Are you comfortable with that type of game plan working with me?
Yeah, I think that would be great. How soon would I be able to start looking at homes?
Tell you what I'll do. I will promise you this. I will make you feel like you're the only client I have. Okay. So that's what I'm going to promise to you. Now, the way it works is this. My daily schedule works out in the first thing in the mornings. I have different meetings and trainings and things that I'm part of and with my brokerage. So what I'll promise to you is no matter what time you message me, you can message me at any time. The easiest kind of way to get a hold of me is typically through text because if I'm in meetings and other things, I'll be able to at least see that you've reached out. I will always get back to you every single day between 11 and 12 o'clock. So plan on that. So if you hit me up first thing in the morning, I'll probably see it within my travels or my trainings in my classes and things like that. But what I'll be doing is I'll be returning all those calls between 11 and 12. So I'll always get back to you. Is that fair?
That would be great.
Okay, great. And that way, there's always a constant line of communication because I also do know that the biggest area that real estate agents fail at is communicating with their clients. So does that sound like a plan that works for you?
Yes. What if I have a lot of questions in between? Will you be able to answer those if I just text them to you randomly?
Well, of course, right? And that's what I want to do. I'm going to have an open dialogue with you. I just want to set parameters that if you hit me up late at night, if you hit me up first thing in the morning, I'll always get back to you sometime a little bit after 11 a.m., probably before noon, and I'll always get back with you. And then throughout the day, we'll be able to communicate. We'll be looking at houses. Our game plan will be for us to constantly talk, constantly get together to make sure that we're moving forward in the direction that you want to go. And what we'll do is we'll limit those searches all the way down to finding those maybe 2 or 3 or 4 houses that are like, oh my gosh, these really, really, really hit it out of the park for you, which is exactly what you want. And then, and only then, we'll go and take a look at those houses because the one thing I won't do is waste your time. Does that sound fair?
That sounds great. I can't wait to work with you.
Gosh, I'm very excited about that too. Thank you very much for the trust in working with me. Being that we're partners, I want us to get a game plan together. So let's set that up immediately. Let's try to get together today if possible. Let's sit down and put a game plan together so we write it out so we're both very, very, very clear. Nothing clarifies like clarity. I want to make sure we're 100% clear of exactly what we're doing. And I promise to give you 100% of my attention when we're together, just like I do for all my other clients. Does that sound fair?
That sounds great. I appreciate
Wonderful.
that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Korah. I'll see you this afternoon at whatever time we'll set that up. So I went from the hyper excited sales guy, oh my gosh, to slow down and take her through the process. Does that make sense? Do you like that style, Korah?
I do like that style. I'm a little bit too fast at times. So I think that's even good information for me because I like to just jump in and get it done.
Yeah, we all are. How many times? Yeah. Korah, I'll ask you and I'll put you on the spot. How many times have they start saying something and you finish the sentence for them?
I've actually worked really hard to overcome that, but in the beginning it did happen.
Of course it does, right? We do it all the time. And it's like, and they're like, oh my God, you finished my sentences. We think that's wonderful. No, do that in your relationships. Don't do that with your clients. Okay. Because your client needs to feel that they're heard. And what we do is we think we know the answer where they're going. We jump in to tell them how smart we are and how successful we are and how much we know. Relax. Let them finish. Repeat it back to them, even when you know the answer, and then lay it out. So I pretended in our little role play that I didn't even know what a cul-de-sac was. So I had to kind of walk me through, like, are you talking about where the street ends and it doesn't go through? And you're like, oh yeah, oh, wonderful. Yeah, because I like those too. It sounds wonderful. Great. because I was pretending I didn't even know what that was, because they're going to ask you for things that you're going to be like, what in the hell is that? Here's why. As real estate agents, especially for you newer agents watching and listening, don't make the mistake of thinking they know everything that you know. They don't. They don't. The average person, right? The average person in America, right? What they do is they jump on this stuff, and people buy it was always 5 to 7 years. So that's kind of the window of what you expect. Well, think about it. If I ask you this, so let me take you through another little, can you role play me again? Is that okay, Korah? Or are we getting off topic?
Absolutely. You're fine.
Okay. So let me help you guys this, and this is really where you want to start. I'm going to give you what your first handful of questions are that you ask every single buyer, no matter what they said, no matter how much they told you, no matter anything. Okay. I'm going to just give you some really simple nuggets for you. It's really simple. Make this really easy for you. So first things first. So Korah, hi, thank you. Sally Sue hooked us up together, and I'm really excited to talk to you. So thank you for taking my call. My name is Curtis Shewell. I am a realtor to the stars. My job is to help you find the perfect place for you. And in order to do that, I want to thank Sally Sue again just for putting us together, regardless of where this goes. But if we think we're a good fit, I'd be excited to work with you and help you find that dream property you're looking for. Is that okay?
That would be great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have a couple quick minutes for us to chat?
Yes, I have about 10.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So can I ask you a couple quick questions? I just want to make sure that we're getting to the things that are important to you. Is that okay?
That would be wonderful.
Great. If you hear any hesitation in my voice while we're talking, please keep in mind, just because I'm writing notes down, I don't want to forget anything that's important to you. Okay?
Okay.
Great. So let me ask you first, Korah, where do you live now?
Right now, I live out of town a little ways. I have a large chunk of property.
Nice, nice. How long have you been there?
About a year and a half.
No kidding. We want to move really quickly. Help me understand what we're really trying to accomplish here. So we just moved there, but we're trying to get out. What's going on?
It's not quite big enough. I need more space. I tried to downsize and it didn't work out so well.
And that's one of those things that, if I heard you correctly, you said that you tried to downsize, therefore you had a bigger place, got the smaller place, and you're just already going, this just cannot work. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, I really thought that I didn't need that much space. I just have way too much that I want to be able to do at home that I don't have enough room for all of it.
Yeah, I understand. Have you been out looking at any houses yet to try to find what does work for you?
I've looked on Zillow a little bit, and then, just see things that as I'm driving around once in a while, but not really.
Okay. So let me ask you the $1 million question, Korah. If I was able to help you and you felt that I was a good fit to work with you, and we put a game plan together and we went out and we found the perfect home tomorrow that, like, oh my gosh, Kurt, that is the house that is so perfectly aligns with me. That's the one I'm really looking for. If we found that tomorrow, would you be able to pull the trigger?
Absolutely.
Okay. So would we be needing anything from the existing house in order to buy the new house? Meaning, do we need to sell that one? Are we keeping that one? What's our plan with that?
I have somebody who can rent it for more than what my payments and everything are, so I should be fine.
Okay. So if I heard you correctly, you're hoping to even keep that, use that as an income bearing property, generate some revenue from that, buy the new home, get you into yours, keep both, and then live happily ever after. Is that kind of the plan?
Yes.
All right. Terrific. So let me ask you again, if we found it today, you'd be able to pull the trigger and that would make sense to you. Is that what I hear you saying?
That is correct.
Okay. So it sounds like we can start from there. So why don't we do this? What I'd like to do is make sure that we're 100% on the same page. I'm going to bring a list of questions that I want to be specific on of what's important to you. So what I'd like to do is set that appointment up with you for this afternoon or this evening. I'll come sit down. You let me know. I'm a kind of a 9 to 5 guy myself. I like to get things done early in the day. Earlier the better. But I obviously have to work in the weekends or the nights at times as well, and that's fine. So if we sit down, we come up with a game plan, we map this thing out. Do you have any problem working with me exclusively that, hey, this is my partner in crime? Because if we're going to do this, we need to be all in together. If you want me to give you my all, which I will, I want to make sure that we're committed to each other. Is that fair?
That would be great.
Okay, so let's sit down together. Let's set up a game plan. Let's map this thing out. Let's make sure our communication is 100% on page with each other so we can move forward. Is this evening a good time for you?
That would work perfect.
Great. And what I want you to think about then before I get there are three things, right? If I had to ask you, what are the three most important things to you that I want in the new house? And what are the three things that my current one does not have that I just cannot stomach? Fair enough?
That would be great.
Okay. And if the list happens to be a little longer, that's okay. If the list is a little shorter, that's okay too. Fair enough?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do then, Korah, I'm excited about meeting with you to put this plan in place to move forward with you. What I'd like to do is I'm going to send you some pre-marketing materials that I'm going to send you, kind of giving you a little bit of an outline of the things that I do to help you find the right one by marketing the other agents out there. This is what I do, and I'm doing it better than most people. So this is why we probably are a good fit for each other. And I'm going to go ahead, reach out to these people to find out what's on the market or what's called coming soons. That means stuff that's not even on the market yet that might give us the first shot at those. Would it be okay if I sent you some of that?
I would really like that.
Great. Wonderful. Sounds like we're going to be a good fit for each other. I'm really, really excited. Sally Sue set us up together again. Korah, thank you much. I'm going to send a message, if you don't mind, to Sally Sue with you on it, just thanking her again for putting us together, letting her know that we're going to be working together. We're moving forward together. We're going to find the perfect place for you. Is that okay?
Yep. I look forward to getting that. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you so much. I'll be there and blah, blah, blah. So how was that? Was that okay?
That was good.
Okay.
And I like the fact that you didn't dive in too deep right away to find out exactly what they wanted, because sometimes I think you kill a deal by jumping in too fast.
Not sometimes, all the time, Korah, all the time. Right. So for you listing viewers out there, agents out there, newer agents, especially, even veterans, we get caught up in going, we already know this. I've heard this a million times. And then we jump to it. Slow down, right? Give them the full Monty. Remember, they don't do this every day. Remember, we talked about how often do they buy and sell houses? So if you look at the questions I asked her at the beginning, I asked her the very first question. I asked this question every single time. I don't care how much stuff they threw at me. Where do you live now? Now, if they've already told you, yeah, and I've had agents, well, Kurt, they just started vomiting all this stuff all over me and telling me everything. They said they live here and this is where they're at and they've been here for this long and blah, blah, blah. They already know all that. Slow down. Repeat it back to them. Make sure they hear what they said to you. Did you get it? That they hear it. They need sometimes to hear themselves. People say a whole lot of stupid stuff. What you need to do is you need to sift through it and get them to hear what they said. The easiest way to get them on your side, the easiest way to win an argument, right, is to repeat back to them what they just said. Because when they hear what they said and they realize how ridiculous it sounded, they change what they say, right? So I don't have to fight these things. This is not about me fighting you. This is about us being on the same page. Let me make sure I heard you correctly. So you want to buy a house that has a bedroom upstairs, but you don't want a house with bedrooms upstairs. Okay, I'm confused. Help me out. Make sure we understand. Ranch houses mean it's all on one floor. Splits or colonials or different things, raised ranches, things like that. These are houses that have these things. So help them understand, because sometimes they don't know what the hell they're calling something. They don't know that what they just called it is not what it really is. They get confused. They hear things. They think they know. They don't. So stop assuming they know everything and stop assuming they know what you know. They don't. They've bought 2 houses in their entire lifetimes, 3 houses in their entire life, 1 house in their entire lifetime. And you think they're an expert on buying and selling houses? Really? Come on. No, they have no clue. They have no clue. And you really want to get into it. Then I'll touch on this for a second. Today in 2022, I just dated the podcast. So you can't use it next year, I guess. So 2022, the market is very different than it was a year ago. There's a shift in the market. Now, if you look at the last 3 to 5 years, there's a shift in our entire industry. That's a whole different conversation for another day, Korah. And if you ever let me talk.
I want to have that conversation next time, Kurt, because that's an amazing conversation to have.
Yeah, that's a good one. But first, let's help agents understand the shifts in the market. Market shifts all the time. This is not a big deal. But it's not the same today as it was 1 year ago today. 1 year ago today, the prices and everything, there's still inventory that's historically low, right? We've got really, really low inventory, supply and demand, yada, yada. People will overpay. No, it's shifting. It's shifting. Why? Because the rates played into it, right? The government got involved to slow that down. Now, when they did that, some people like it, some people don't. So it depends on what side of the fence you're on. I'm not here to talk about the politics. What I am here to talk about, though, is the market shifts all the time. Anyway, this isn't new, right? This isn't new. But a year ago today, market's different than it is today. 3 to 5 years ago, guess what? Way different than it was for the last 3 years. Last 3 years have been the 3 greatest years in the history of real estate. So if you were in the game already and you're in your 4th, 5th year, if you didn't knock it out of the park in these last 3 years and have the greatest 3 years in real estate you could ever have, you missed the best market we've ever seen. That just means, I mean, get out of the business. What it means is you need to change and refocus. That's what that means. That means you were focused on the wrong stuff. You were chasing busy work. I'm going to teach you. Korah's going to teach you. We're going to teach you. We're going to help you stop being busy, start being productive, right? Productive people are extremely busy, right? I'm busy as heck. Korah's busy all the time. But guess what? We find time to work on things that are what? Productive to us. Does it benefit you? Does it benefit your business? Right? You got to start doing these things. I'm going to give you guys, before we wrap up today, if Korah allows it, I'll give you guys a couple little tricks, a couple steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what you're going to do to have success immediately. I'm going to give this so you walk out of this today. If you will listen to a Korah Hart podcast, a Korah Hart training, a Korah Hart seminar, anything she puts out there, if you watch this stuff, you have to be able to implement it right away. And I'm going to give you 4 things you can implement right now today that'll change everything for you. I promise. If this hasn't been enough helpful to get you kind of in the right mindset of start asking, stop telling people stuff, start asking them stuff. That's my first step. Second piece, slow down, repeat it back to them, make sure they're on the same page. And then the third piece, like I just role played with Korah, was I made this about her. And then in there, if you really listen to the questions I asked her to get rid of any other agent, stop talking to other people. I'm your end all be all. You promised to work with me. I promised to work with you, right? So when I asked her if I could do this for you, would you do this for me and get rid of all the other voices in your head? I don't need distractions. I don't need people telling you things that contradict what I'm telling you, because now we're going to have to keep going backwards to move forward. Now you have no interest in doing that, right? I want clients who want to work with me. I asked her the question, where do you live now? Because I need to know, when's the last time she bought a house? Right? So that was why I asked her, how long have you been there? First thing is, where do you live now? To get where we want to be, right? The end always depends on where you begin, right? The start matters, but I don't want to talk about, well, let's talk about where you're at and spin in that little circle. No, I want to know, where do you want to go? Where are we starting from? So where do you live now and how long have you been there? Those are the first 2 questions I ask. Where do you live now? Let them tell you. If they've already told you, like I started a minute ago, if they've already told you all this stuff, great. Repeat it back to them. So Korah, if first thing I want to ask is where you live now. And it sounds like, if I heard you right, you said you live in Lincoln Park. Is that where you live right now? Right? Yeah. I'm going to say it back to her, right? So she's already told me. I'm just going to throw it back at her. That way, 1, she knows I was listening. And 2, I'm still asking my questions in order that I need to ask them. So we have a list, Korah, of the questions to ask. I'll provide that for you, give that to you guys. If you guys want that, there's 100 questions, but the 12 questions that you have to get answered, if they answer these 12 questions on this list, and I'll give them to you, right? It's really simple. So anybody that wants it, Korah, please, let's give it out to them. Ask these questions. If you ask these questions, you'll get all the right answers to the test. If you have the answers to the test, you can probably pass the test, right? So let's give them the answers, but you got to ask your client these 12 questions. If you can do that, you win. And here, I can make it really easy, right? I have them they're not written down on this piece of paper here, but I have
people yelling in the chat saying, yes, please send it to us. So
okay. Yeah, for sure.
To me, I will send it out.
Yeah, Korah's going to be your end all be all. She's amazing. So what we're going to do is provide all the tools for you, but we're going to give the directions how to use them. Fair enough? Okay. So what you do is you can have the questions in front of you. And here's the coolest exercise. And I do this when I'm training my agents. I do a lot of training and helping agents. So when I'm helping you through this stuff, I show you and teach you how to do this with your client with the damn list of questions in front of them, in front of you. It makes it cool. You're going to sound more professional than anyone they met. And let me give you a quick example, Korah, if you don't mind. So it's really quick. What you do is you take these 12 questions, they're on this sheet, and then you got a space to put your answers on. All you is, hey, Korah, hi, thanks for meeting. I'm really glad we got to meet. And our first meeting is here at this house that you wanted to see. I'm glad we got to see it and kind of get a feel for what you're looking for. But at the end of the day, I think to be more specific, more strategic, to be surgical, if you will, with me and you, be laser focused on finding you the perfect house. I've got a few questions that I typed out here for us. Would you mind if I just went through these? Because I think these are crucial to getting us where you want to be. and I want to write the answers down if you don't mind, if that'd be okay, because I don't want to forget anything that you say that's extremely important. Is that okay?
Yeah, I love that.
Great, Korah. Thank you. So I'm gonna just ask these really quickly, and if I did that, I'm gonna write a few answers down if you don't mind. So let me ask you this. Boom. And I go, so where do you live now and how long have you been there? And boom, boom, boom. Okay, great. So help me understand better about exactly what we're trying to do. Right. Okay, boom. And then great. If we found the perfect one and we were able to do that, could you pull the trigger tomorrow? Because I want your timeline, right? I want the motive. First, I want to know where the hell we're starting from, how long you've been there. Because now I know how much money you got as far as in the house. Is there equity in the house or not? I know how long you've been there. You've been there 30 years. Well, you're a person that doesn't move, right? You have no idea how this works. 30 years ago, ain't the same market it is today, right? No shot in hell. So I know we got a lot of work to do with you because you ain't don't even know how this works. You've been watching TV. Oh God, don't watch the news, right? So this is where my head's going. Then the third question, great, help me understand what we're trying to do here. Okay, class, check this out. If I understand what their motivation is, I know everything I need to know. I've already got everything I need to know, but I do want their timelines. I do want some more specifics. So my next question is, great, if I could do this, could you pull the trigger? Because I want their, no, I can't. Great. Help me understand that better. I heard you say, no, you couldn't pull the trigger if we found the perfect house tomorrow. Then why are we looking at that perfect house tomorrow? We're not, because that's not on your timeline. Help me understand your timeline. Do you guys understand this? I know I'm talking rhetorical because I don't know if I can't see them, but hopefully they're watching. So the thing is with that, Korah, is when we're doing this, right? If I have this little clipboard in front of me, how professional do I look to you, Korah, that I'm actually coming prepared? I've got documentation. I've got things to make sure that we hit on for you. I'm putting your answers down so you know I'm listening to you instead of talking all over you. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep, it does. And we have a lot of yeses coming through the chat too. So I love
Good.
it. You're loving what you're putting out there.
Right? So this is how we win, guys. Stop setting yourself up for failure. Stop telling them anything. Ask them everything. You don't matter in this equation. They do. They are 100% what matters. It's not about you. It's about them. My coaching classes I do, my boot camps and such, day one, it's not about you. And no is your friend. Use no as the answer you want. Would you want to work with an agent who didn't communicate with you? Korah, would you?
No, I would not.
No, what a great answer. Why, guys? No is a safe answer. No, she wants to say. Saying yes is like, oh God, if I say yes, now I'm nervous. Now you're convincing me to do something. Now you're selling me. Oh God, everyone wants to buy. No one wants to be sold. Stop selling people. Please, for the love of God, help them. No's your friend. How about this, Korah? Oh my gosh, you said if I got it right and I wrote it down because I came prepared with a gosh damn clipboard or a piece of paper or a notepad. Act like it matters when you get there. Stop being this agent who runs them through a house with nothing going, okay, well, that's the kitchen. That's the toilet. Hey, that was great. Oh, there's a light fixture. That looks great. Okay. Do you like it? Do you want to buy it? I mean, this is the horrible crap that we see in our industry. It's terrible. This is why most agents don't make it. So if I asked you a better question, well, Korah, now that we went through this house and we looked at these things, right? Because we sold from the outside in, remember at the beginning, right? Community, neighborhood, street, house. So by the time we got into that house, my question for them is, I'm selling, you should be 50% of that sale outside before you ever set foot in that house, right? We've already eliminated prior, and I know we kind of just glossed over that a little bit. We've eliminated 30 houses that they wanted to see down to the 3 that we're actually going to go to. But we picked the one that, oh my gosh, if we had to guess which one would be the best one, which would it be? Would be this one? Great. Let's make that our first one on our stop, because if that's the right one, the last thing we want to do is let somebody else buy our favorite house. Is that correct, Korah?
That is definitely correct.
Right. So you don't want to live in your second favorite house, do you?
No.
No. And you don't want somebody else to buy your favorite house, do you?
No.
No. And there's no other reason that we wouldn't buy this house. If the inside matches the outside, does this sound like it's the perfect house for you?
It sounds like the perfect house.
Yeah. And you wouldn't want to miss out on that, right?
I cannot miss out on that.
No. Yeah, I agree with you. I like how you think, Korah. You're really smart. Sounds like this makes sense. I really love working with you. Thank you. It's a series of no's. I want them to say no. So when I ask the $1 million question, I'm like, okay, great. Then does this make sense? Well, yeah, it makes sense. Great. So no, we don't want to miss out. No, we don't want to lose, right? Fear of loss is the biggest motivator on the planet, right? Fear of missing out, right? Fear of loss. So that's your biggest motivator, guys. So if you get anything out of today, take that.
And you're making them take ownership, which is very important.
100%, right? All I want to do is make sure we're on the same page. Right? If you and I are on the exact same page, Korah, and I'm your agent, is there a better agent on the planet for real?
No, if you understand exactly what they're saying and that communication and relationships there, that's what's going to matter in the long term.
Yeah, think about this. I'm going to say something kind of cheesy, but think about relationships. How many times, if you're a girl, right, and you see this other girl, you look at her and you see this guy, and you're like, man, that guy is like, wow, right? Man, what is he doing with her? How in the world did she land him? No way. Well, what you're missing out on is you're looking at surface things. You're missing out on what his needs, wants, and his desires are. She's fulfilling those, right? What does he really want? What does he need? What is he really looking for? What's going to benefit his life? Because that's what guys, we're simple creatures, man. There's three things that really matter to guys, and we'll leave those out of this conversation. But the thing is if I find that person who can give me that, I've got exactly what I want. I'm a dude. I'm pretty simple. Now let's reverse it. As a guy, guys all the time, there is no way that tool landed her. No way. She is like, oh my God, fine as the day is long. Well, again, he fulfilled her needs, her wants, her desires, what she's looking for. He brought something to the table for her that fit and filled what her cup needed. Does that make sense? And this is why we say opposites attract. Well, two alpha personalities, man, they're going to go because they both want to be right. One of them has to say, I just want to be happy, right? Guys and girls out there watching this stuff, your clients, all they want to be is happy, right? They think they want to be right. Why? Because they're embarrassed as well. If you ask them something they don't freaking know, you're going to embarrass them, right? So break it down for them, make it simple. Stop telling them things, start asking them things. You're going to tell them plenty in what you're saying, setting up your question. It's always a question. You ask the right questions, you get the right answers, you win every single time. All I want them to be is happy, because if they're happy, I win. I get paid. I get paid handsomely for what I do. Then I get to buy a house on the lake, right? But I have to be good at this. It takes time. So, Korah, I don't know how much we have on time. I just wanted to lay out a couple
We're
of.
almost out of time, but you're fine to finish up.
Okay. All right. I'll do this in 3 minutes or less, which means about 6 for me, right? So, okay. So here we go. All right. So really quick and simple. Guys, I told you I'll give you the 4 really easy steps. You can make 100 grand. I don't know what your number is, what your magic number might be 30 grand, might be 50, it might be $500,000. I don't know. But here's what I can tell you to start off with. And if you apply this to whatever level you're at or reaching for, you'll hit it. You'll crush it, actually. You'll make way more than you're expecting. Simple as this. You can have massive success in 12 hours a week of lead generating. How do I get out and show people houses? How do I get out and take listings? How do I go out and do this stuff? Well, it starts off by lead generating. Remember we talked about the 5 principles again of your business, right? Support, leads, training, ownership, sharing in the money. At the end of the day, everybody pitches you on, oh my God, we'll support you, we'll love you, because they don't offer leads. They don't offer any training that's covered by them. They're not going to pay for you to have training. They're certainly never going to give you any ownership. They own it. They want you to work for them, never be them. And then they're never going to share in the money. They're going to give you a glass trophy and go, oh my God, you're amazing. You're so good. Oh my God, Korah, I love you. You're my top agent in my office. You're so good. You know what we're going to do next weekend? Yep, we're going to go out on my boat and I'm going to buy a Jimmy John sandwich and give you another glass trophy. Yay us. And if you do really good, Korah, next year, if you crush it and double your business, I'll be so happy for you. I'm going to take you out twice and I'll buy a bigger boat. Fair enough? I mean, this is the shit they say to you as if they're doing you some kind of favor. I mean, it's enough to make you go squirrely, right? So when you really listen to this stuff, it's really this simple. You want to lead generate? It's really easy. Get into trainings where we're helping with the mindsets. You get the daily classes, daily trainings, daily input here, right? You got to surround yourself by the people who are at the level you're trying to get to or beyond. It's called proximity, right? Proximity is nearness in space, nearness in time, and nearness in relationship. You got to be in the room with the people who are going to take you to that next level. If you're not in that room, damn it, you're in the wrong room, right? If you hang out with 10 broke friends, you'll be the 11th broke friend. So stop it. Right? Start looking at what you're surrounding yourself with, because you are that. You are that. Think about it this way. If I eat nothing but crazy, horrible, bad food, yeah, I'm going to start looking at crazy, horrible, bad physique, right? My belly's going to get bigger than it already is, right? This clearly says I'm eating bad food. Now, I start hitting that gym a little bit. I don't even have to hit the gym. I start walking at night. I start riding a bike. I start doing whatever. How about I just get off my ass, right? So I can do these things and stop this, right? Stop this madness of going in the wrong direction. How about I start eating right? That'll start shaving the pounds all by itself. I don't have to do any damn exercise, right? But at the same time, let's make sure that we're doing what matters to us. Your clients are the same. Feed their souls. help them out, right? Start lead generating your business. It's as simple as this. Every single day, 7:30 to 8 a.m., you should be doing some kind of collaboration. If it's a training call, if it's role playing, find a role play buddy, find one person, find 10 people. Our call, like I said, we have about 120 agents every single day on this thing. You can get on this thing, be on it, right? We're doing it for, we're going to role play it. Even if you're not role playing, you're hearing it, your mindset's right. Role play yourself in the shower every single day. That's your best time. I joke about it all the time. My wife's like, wow, you had a rough one in there today, huh? I'm like, yeah, that guy was kicking my butt. That was me, right? Because I'm role playing it out going, man, I didn't have the objection handles for that. Man, I got to work on that, right? So these are the way you get better. What you do is you do your day, 7:30, 8 o'clock a.m. Why? Because you're not supposed to call people before 8 a.m. So after 8 o'clock, you start prospecting your new leads. Lead generation, lead gen, new business, NBs. Put it on your calendar, NB, from 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's why I told my client at the beginning, I return calls around 11 to 12 o'clock. Why? Because I am tied up every single morning, because I'm getting better, honing my skills, becoming the better agent so I can help you better. I'm searching for things. I'm doing all these things. They don't know what you're doing. All they need to know is I'm tied up then, benefiting them. And then at 11 o'clock, I will be calling them back. I'll always get back to them. So you set parameters. They'll follow. If you set it up upfront contract is what it's called. It's an upfront contract. I'm agreeing with them. Here's what I'm going to do. You're going to do. Say what you mean what you say. Now, set your day up. 8 o'clock, you're on the training, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8 to 11. For those 3 hours, you are generating new businesses. You're not on Facebook. We're not texting people. We're not calling people. We're not taking phone calls. We're not answering the text. Take your phone and turn it down. You're not on that. What you're doing is you're lead generating, right? So we're working on new business. All you have to do is find, guess what the easiest thing out there right now, right? You know, sellers are scarce, supply and demand. Buyers are plentiful. There's a million buyers out there. Great. Call the buyers up. Guess what? 3 out of 4 people in America, what do they have? Home ownership. 25% of the people rent, 20 to 75% of the people own. So guess what you have? 3 out of 4 people own a house. That means half the people who are buying another house have to sell theirs in order to buy the new house. So guess how you find your listings? How do you find sellers? Go talk to the buyers. Go talk to buyers. For every 4 buyers you talk to, one of them's got to sell their house, probably 2. Realistically, 3 of them have it, but let's just play the percentages. Dummy it down. So if I can talk to 1 buyer on Monday, 1 buyer on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, if I got 3 hours to do it, I only got to find 1 buyer. They're plenty. They're all over the place. They're all over the damn internet, right? Call these people up. Hey, how you doing? It's Curtis Shewell. Korah, thanks for taking my call really quick. I was just calling to reach out to you to see if you're still in the market to look to buy and find a house. And then she's either going to say yes, no, or maybe so, right? No? Great. When do you think you would get back in the market for this? Boom, find out, right? She'll tell you. If not, go the other way. Okay. Well, yeah, actually, I'm kind of looking right now. Great. If I could find the perfect house for you right now, what have you been finding so far? What have you looked at that you liked? What did you look at that you didn't like? Where do you live now? How long have you been there? So help me understand what you're trying to do. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same questions. Get them in that conversation. They'll give you all the answers to the test. Great. Yes, I would like to look at houses with you. Awesome. So help me understand. If we found the perfect house today, could you pull the trigger? Well, no, I can't. I have to sell my house first. Oh, no kidding. Bam. Bingo. Winner. We just got a listing opportunity, right? So now I don't have to ask him, well, can I come over and talk to you about losing your house? What it would look like? Blah, 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 all that garbage. No. Great. Let me put a game plan together with you. We sit down, talk about what your perfect home would look like. And then let's take a look, secondly, at, well, what do we got to do to get your house sold so you can find your new home? We start talking the right lingo. House is when we're selling because we got to detach them from it, right? No emotion there. Home is where the heart is. Home is where we're going to find them. You do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you get 1 buyer on Monday, 1 buyer on Tuesday, Wednesday, you're terrible on the phone. You didn't get anybody. And on Thursday, for those 3 hours, you found 1 buyer that also has, guess what, a house to sell. Guess what you've got? You've got 3 buyers in play and 1 seller in play in 1 week and 4 days. And one of them, you didn't get anything because you were terrible. How about that? You could fall into this if you do it right. It's that simple. Now take that times 4 weeks in a month. If I just did that for the 4 times, what do I got now? Oh my gosh. Well, now I've got 3 buyers times 4. That's 12 buyers. And I've got 1 listing times 4. That's 4 listings. And let's say half of these people end up flaking on you. You were horrible. They found out they don't like you, whatever. You know, you didn't have the right hairdo. I don't know. They didn't like your perfume. Whatever happens. Great. Half of them go away. Well, guess what you got? I got 6 buyers in play and I got 2 buyers and 2 sellers in play. 6 buyers, 2 sellers. And if I'm really horrible and I lose half of them, then I'm only going to close 2 buyers and 1 seller every month. That's 3 deals a month. This is if you're horrible at what you do. And that's only lead generating for 4 days, for 3 hours a day, for 12 hours. The rest of the time, I'm helping these people. I'm out there. I'm actually showing them houses. And if I can't get on the phone and I'm afraid of it, get over yourself, then you're not in the right business. You decided to help people. Now start helping them for real. And then the last piece, if you really can't figure out how to talk to these people, then go do other people's open houses. Find people that have listings and ask me if you can hold their house open for them to help them out. If the house has been on the market for 2 weeks, guess what? They're not getting enough activity. Offer to do it for them, and then take all those buyers, because only one can buy the house if they even do. Typically, and you don't even know this yet, we'll teach us as you go. Open houses are not about selling that house. Open houses are for you to go get new clients that are buying a different house. But now you've got the price point you want. A buyer looking in that area, remember, they got the community, neighborhood, street house. Guess what you just found out? People that want that community, that neighborhood, they even like that street. Now go find them the right house. Simple as that. Take these people, take your game to a level, start acting like a professional. They'll respond to you like a professional. You'll start selling like a professional, and go get yourself a house on the lake.
Well, that was the best last 10 minutes I've ever had, Curtis.
Well,
You
good,
literally gave a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. So I absolutely love having you on here today. I think that's amazing information, and I think it will help a lot of people. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me, Korah. You're amazing. You know, I'm a huge fan. If anybody you out there, follow what Korah does, do what she does, listen to what she says. Just follow the direction she's giving you, the answers to the test. Take them and run with it. She's amazing. Korah, thank you so much. Let me hang out.
Thank you.
If anybody has any questions, I'm Curtis Shewell. You can hit me up on, I don't know, I got an Instagram or something, right, Korah?
Yes, I will make sure I tag you so that everybody knows where to find you at, okay?
Yeah, if I can help any of your people anytime, anywhere, hit me up. Let me know. I'm happy to help. We're all here. We just give. The more you give, the more you get. So if you help 1 million people get what they want, you'll have everything you've ever dreamt of getting. So let's do that. I
couldn't agree more. That's exactly what it's about, is helping people so that we can all grow together. So thank you, and you have a great day.
Korah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Hey, guys, everybody, have a great day. Thanks again for your time.